Ever wondered why some people just seem to get ahead with money? Like they know a secret, while most of us are just, well, running on a hamster wheel. Today, we're cracking open one of the books that blew the lid off that whole conversation, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We're going to break down the game-changing and, yeah, sometimes controversial ideas that Robert Kiyosaki learned from his two dads. So let's get right into it, starting with the biggest idea of them all.
This right here, this is the core principle. It's a complete 180 from what most of us are taught, you know? The goal isn't just to work harder for a bigger paycheck. Nope. The goal is to build things, to own things, things that put money in your pocket even when you're sleeping. That's the real difference between just making a living and actually building wealth. And here you can see the two worlds Kiyosaki was living in. On one side, you've got his real dad, his poor dad. Super smart, highly educated, but stuck in that traditional thinking. Get a safe, secure job. And on the other side, his friend's dad, the rich dad, who is all about financial smarts. This clash of ideas is what sets up every single lesson in the book. All right, so let's really dig into these two figures, because the whole point of the book is that it's not about how much money you make. It's about what's going on up here in your head. That's what really determines your financial future. So, poor dad. He represents the path that, let's be honest, most of us are told to follow. You know the drill. Go to school, get the fancy degree, land that secure job with good benefits, and just climb the ladder. But for him, even with all the qualifications and all the hard work, it was a constant struggle. He was always working for his money. And then you have Rich Dad. Totally different story. He was a businessman who got rich by making smart moves, by understanding how systems work, and by taking smart, calculated risks. He didn't have the same fancy diplomas, but his financial education, it was off the charts. He taught Robert that real wealth comes from understanding the game of money itself. Okay, now we're getting to the absolute heart of the book. Seriously, if you take away only one single thing from this whole explainer, please make it this. Getting this one concept can literally change your financial life forever. So what's an asset? It's simple. So simple, it's brilliant. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. That's it. Think of it like a little money tree that you own. It doesn't matter if it's big or small, its job is to make you money. And a liability? Well, it's the exact opposite. It's a money vacuum. It's anything that takes money out of your pocket. Month after month, it just drains your cash. And you know what? The confusion between these two is where almost everyone gets tripped up. Now, this is where the book gets really controversial for some people. See, we're taught to think our house is our biggest asset, but Rich Dad says, hold on a second. If you're paying a mortgage, taxes, insurance, and repairs every month, it's taking money out of your pocket. So functionally, it's a liability. An asset, like a rental property that someone else pays you to live in, puts cash in your pocket. The rich spend their lives buying assets. The rest of us, we end up buying liabilities that we think are assets. And this all boils down to one simple, powerful rule. Instead of working extra hours to get a raise so you can afford a fancier car, the Rich Dad way is to first buy an asset. Maybe it's some dividend stocks, maybe a small side business. Then you use the money that asset makes to pay for the car. Your money is literally working to buy you the nice things. Okay, so you get it. Assets good, liabilities bad. But how do you actually put that into action? Let's look at the game plan, the strategy the wealthy use to build that asset column over and over again. The first step is what Rich Dad called minding your own business. Now, this doesn't mean you have to quit your job tomorrow. Not at all. It just means that while your job pays the bills, your real business is building up your asset column on the side. That's your focus. Your job is your profession, but building assets is your business. Rich Dad also taught that the rich play by a different set of rules, legally of course, especially with taxes. See, as an employee, the money flow is, you earn it, the government takes its cut first, and then you get to spend whatever is left over. But if you own a business, like a corporation, the flow is different. The business earns, it spends on all its expenses, and then it pays taxes on whatever's left. It's a huge difference that lets you reinvest and grow way faster. And that brings us back to what is truly the most important piece of the puzzle, your mind. Because you can have all the tactics in the world, but if your thinking isn't right, none of it will work. It's all about rewiring your brain. Think about this phrase for a second. I can't afford it. What does it do? It's a full stop. It slams the door shut. Your brain just stops working. It accepts defeat. The conversation is over before it even begins. But watch what happens when you just change the words a little. How can I afford it? See? It's not a statement anymore, it's a question. And that question forces your brain to wake up. It starts looking for answers, brainstorming solutions, getting creative. It opens up a universe of possibilities.
And that simple switch in language, that is the secret to what Rich Dad called inventing money. It's about training your brain to see opportunities where everyone else just sees a brick wall. It's about actively creating your financial reality, not just passively accepting it.
This way of thinking even changes how you look at your job. Poor Dad's focus was always work to earn a paycheck. Rich Dad's advice was work to learn. Take jobs not for the money, but for the skills you'll gain. Learn how to sell, how to communicate, how to lead. Those skills are the real assets that will help you build your own business down the line.
And finally, we've got to talk about fear. Because let's be real, everyone is afraid of losing money. The difference is what you do with that fear. Most people let it paralyze them. They play it so safe they actually lose out. The rich, they don't avoid risk, they manage it. And how do they manage it? With knowledge. Financial education is the best way to conquer fear.
So where is all of this supposed to take you? What's the end game? It's not just about having a pile of cash. It's about something way, way more valuable. It's about freedom.
And financial freedom isn't some fuzzy concept. It has a very clear mathematical definition. It's the moment your income from your assets, your businesses, your investments, is more than enough to cover all your monthly expenses. That's it. At that point, going to work becomes a choice, not a chore.
And the path to get there is built on these 3 simple but powerful habits. First, you've got to spend less than you make. Second, you take that extra cash and you buy assets with it. And third, you never, ever stop learning. Your financial education is a lifelong project. So I'll leave you with this one big question to think about. Right now, in your life, who's in charge? Are you a master of your money, or are you its servant, trading your valuable time day after day just for a paycheck?
Because ultimately, the journey from financial stress to financial freedom doesn't start with a lottery ticket or a big raise. It starts with a choice you make on how you decide to think about money. And that choice begins right now.